Women are realizing that we don't want to be part of this patriarchy anymore.
Yes.
Why is it that, so everything you said was you want your man to, obviously it's for the example, you want your man will be happy when he's got a fun girl, your man this, your man that, it's always about what the man wants. And women are realizing that, no, I don't want the short straw. I actually want to be fulfilled as well. What about me? I want to be the one that's being pampered.
Yeah.
So women are like, no, if he makes money, he's nice, he's kind, and all of these things, but he's still missing an element that I feel like I need, I don't want him. So women too are being picky.
Yeah, so and that is
but
fine.
I don't even think that's being picky. I feel like that is what it should be.
So everybody has their standards, right? So you have your standards. So for a Christian woman, I believe that, the man must be born again, he must be a believer, right? And then he must tick certain boxes as well. He must be kind, he must be a person of character and all of that. But truth be said, right? The man still calls the shots.
He does.
So that's why...
But women are trying to change that.
But you cannot change it, really.
Why?
That is why you see a woman dating this guy. You've been dating for 5 years. What's happening? I'm waiting for the proposal. I'm waiting for him to pop the question, right? And you ask the guy, 5 years, what's happening? He's like, yeah, I'm just taking my time. It's not like I'm waiting for the woman. The woman is waiting for him to pop the question because it actually lies in his hands whether we're going to get married or not.
Yeah.
The man does call the shots.
So, and that is why, unfortunately, I don't feel like that table can be turned.
But that's what they're trying to do.
But it can be turned.
And that's why girls are shooting their shots and girls are now proposing to guys. And we're just like, why are you proposing to a man?
No.
Why are you proposing to a man?
Don't propose to a woman, Sha. But anyway.
The woman should not propose to another woman.
But what was I gonna say? But I feel like women can subtly call the shots, in the sense that you don't have to stay there. I think one thing about women, we need to realize that there's not that much options, but at least with the little option I have, let me choose well.
Can I say
let
something?
me not be boxed into a corner.
I think married women talk from a place of privilege. No shade.
Goodness.
Yeah. Because you
good.
saying you don't have to stay there and go where, and I'm not speaking for myself, I'm just speaking on behalf of women who, there's no one that necessarily wants to marry me right now, but Ade is giving me attention and I'm hoping that, like, we're dating, I'm hoping that it will go somewhere. It's not as easy as just packing your bags and saying that, I don't want to be a part of this. Where's your options?
Okay.
And you just said the little option you have. Some people don't have options.
But the thing is,
let me just say something. Okay, go on.
I think, and obviously it sounds hard because obviously I'm already married, but marriage is actually not the be all end all. It's actually not the be all end all. If you don't get married, it doesn't mean you're not going to heaven.
No, of course. But again, because you're married, so
because I'm married, it's easy to say.
Because for me,
but at the same time, because of the stories I've heard, it will break my heart if someone entered into a marriage that could have been avoided if you were okay with the shame or the pressure of being single. Because that's what it is, shame or pressure.
So let's go back to again. Yes, you should not be ashamed of being single.
Because it's just for a season.
I think it's just society that has brought that thing of shame. It's now almost a thing of shame. Like when you're a certain age and you're not married, you now feel like because somebody has told you that at a certain age you must get married.
And it's not society; it's an African society. It's not pressure. I've spoken to other people, African and Asian society. Asian societies are just a bit better than us because at a certain time maybe they'll do arrange for you.
Okay, fair enough. So I want to go back to, you talked about options, right? So I think we mentioned this before. Okay, so we actually don't need many options.
Men
or women.
Okay.
Right? So a lot of women are like, okay, maybe if I do certain things, my options will increase. But it's almost like, let us go back, and that's why we're believers, right? Let us actually go back to the place of my trust and faith in God, right? That where I am, okay, God will actually meet me at the point of that need, right?
Yep.
As against me now trying to help myself. And don't get it twisted, I'm not saying that, okay, you're not going to go out, you're not going to fix up, you're not going to... But where you're now actually think, let me help myself, and then you're now doing certain ungodly things, okay, because my options are running out and I need those options. I feel like that's where people miss it.
Yeah.
So talking about options now and talking about standards, I always say that sometimes, and this is where some women miss it as well, right? So one of your things is that, okay, this guy must be a 6-figure guy, okay, or he must be doing well. So my question now, and again, it's not necessarily that for you personally, but just generally, right? So if there was a guy who was on like 25 or 30K, okay? What was it? So if there was a guy on 25K, right? God-fearing guy, is that now a deal breaker? But you feel like this guy is not making enough money to look after me or to pay for my lifestyle and, you know, for us to do reels on Instagram that we're in some private jet and going to, do you understand?
Absolutely.
So I feel like that is also an issue. That is also an issue, because when you come back to my time, again, I keep saying my time, but yes, my time was 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago, again, I was that guy.
He was doing volunteer work.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you were that guy,
I was that guy.
lots of guys were that guy. That's why it's different. Lots of guys were that guy. And also, you weren't a rarity. Like, even if there were guys that were making money, they were the rare ones. They were the outliers. I feel like as well, social media was on a come up. Even if you were the guy making money, it's not being thrown in your face.
Right.
Whereas now, the guys making money, they're going to show you their car on Instagram.
Yeah.
They're going to dangle the keys.
Yeah.
So they've now increased. So do you think that has also further whet the appetite of the ladies?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So you feel like, okay, let's talk about social media and the impact of social media now on dating.
I think in your time, I remember your YouTube video, it went viral. That was YouTube, one YouTube video. Can you imagine if you had Instagram from then?
Yeah.
And you were showing
We didn't
the
have
journey.
Instagram until
Or
even,
TikTok.
yeah.
Like there's a girl that I follow on TikTok. She's shown us everything, and her followers, they just keep growing because of how much she's
They're
brought
invested.
us. Yeah, and I think that in your day, if Instagram was popping, and you saw guys putting stories up like, oh, just got £1 million deal, or just bought my 5th property, or just bought this, just got that. I think there'll be pressure on you to be like, what am I doing? Whereas the pressure may have just come from your circle. You hear that, this person is doing this. You're like, okay, I need to level up. I need to boss up. It's not the same. Whereas me, whether I like it or not, if I go on TikTok, there's pressure for me to have my hair looking nice, pressure for my makeup to look nice, and those are just low-level pressures. Talk less of pressure to have a house, pressure to have a car, pressure to put your hand up and say I'm engaged, pressure to dangle keys and say that I bought a house. So it's just in your face. So naturally, you are competing with a million other people that you've never even met.
But that's my issue, right? Like, how did we get here? Do you understand?
Mark Zuckerberg. Now him bring us here.
How did we? To be honest, I feel like sometimes, right? I feel like people should just go off social media.
But it's a drug. They can't.
And just live your life.
Because they want to see what's going on. It's a drug. It's an addictive drug.
Because you're seeing what's going on and it's making you depressed.
Yeah. But still you keep on clicking.
You see what's going on, but that's also a method to get your partner as well. So people don't want to come off. The reason why we even present ourselves in a certain way is that now someone can slide into my DMs and then within a year I'm married to.
But guess what? But should I tell you what happens now with that? Because especially if you're keeping up, okay? So you have your Instagram and then you're keeping up with that profile. You're keeping up, you know, as this influencer or lifestyle babe and everything. And you know, it's fake life, right? Half of it is fake life. Let's be frank, right?
Yeah.
So half of this thing is fake life. Now this guy is now married or is now in love with a version of you, with the Instagram version of you, okay? And then the real version of you now shows up, and it feels like, what is this? And we're seeing a lot of that now. We're actually seeing a lot of that because, oh, you're not really that. Do you understand? Exactly.
But you know what?
You find that
house is
this girl got, you find that, oh, so you actually don't even have a source of income.
Absolutely.
It's a business.
But that is referring to the influencers. For the everyday girl like me, who's not an influencer, if I see someone at a party and they've seen me, now what they need to do, they don't need to even move to me there. Just find me on Instagram later.
Simple.
So you
Like
think-
a few pictures. So I'm talking about
That's
the
so
average
your
girl.
party.
That's also, people don't want to come off social media because it's almost like my profile. It's my way of showing
The world.
that
Okay.
I'm available.
Yeah.
So
And I think I agree. I think to an extent, because again, we have to move away from the old school mindset.
Yeah.
Right? So you believe that, okay, now Instagram and social media is actually a tool,
yeah, it can be, yeah.
can be a tool for dating. Okay, fair enough. So my issue with that again is because, as I said, all of this fake stuff, and you don't know who is hiding behind profiles
Yeah.
and hiding behind cameras. You can't really know who is who for real, right? So you mentioned something now. You meet somebody, and then the next thing is like, oh, I'll look you up on Instagram, and then it now becomes an Instagram thing. So why can't we just come back to let's come back to the real world?
We should.
Because guess what? They start talking about metaverse now. Guess what? People are going to go to the metaverse and be dating. People will have marriages in the metaverse.
Avatar.
People will have generation and have children in the metaverse. And in real life, they'll be depressed.
Yeah.
Because the metaverse will now be where you're living a life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this whole thing is crazy. Let
Yeah.
us come back to the universe. That's the one that God created.
Let's be going to heaven.
Let us actually come
Because-
back to the real world and
Yeah.
actually have real conversations
Absolutely.
with
Yeah.
real people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, 100% agree.
Yeah.
100% agree. I just feel like it's going to be a while. It's like Nigeria. You know, when you say, let us change, let's see change. Will we see it in our time?
We're praying.
That's the real question.
We're
Will
praying.
we see
That's
everyone
another
come back to
conversation
reality?
entirely.
No, I just use it as a example, but
Yeah.
will we see us come back to what real dating was like when, you know, your mum and dad, they met somewhere? There's no such
No, they
thing
met
as...
under the
Under the tree. In the stream.
In the
In the ocean.
But yeah, where they met, they talked. They said, you know what? Let's build a family. Let's go. Now,
Let's go.
there's so many clauses for women
Yeah.
and men.
And men, because
before
I
they
feel
even
like
get together.
because-
And also, bro,
yeah.
before I even forget, I'm sorry, marriage is not even that attractive anymore to people
Because of the bad
the
PR
divorce
that is
rate,
getting.
the bad
Yeah.
PR. Why would I get with someone when they can make me sad? They can be difficult to live with. It's overwhelming. When I can just live by myself.
But you can live by yourself and then
Still feel that way.
exactly.
Exactly.
And you live by yourself and then you also feel unfulfilled because God has actually designed
Yes.
us and wired us for this. You know, unless you've been given the gift of singleness,
yeah.
like Paul, where you're actually single and you don't even feel like you're missing anything. But as long as you desire it, do you understand?
Yeah.
So everything is a risk. So I feel like the one that now decides, oh my God, why would I? You're not willing to take that risk.
Yeah.
Marriage is a risk.
Everything is a
Relationship is a risk.
Work
So for those who are risk averse, I feel like you don't get the best shot at life.
At all.
You don't get the best shot at marriage or relationship. So you need to be willing to take that leap of faith and feel like, okay, let us see how this goes and trust God.
Yeah.
Alright? So before I think like we're already wrapping up gradually. But let us quickly talk about, just because we said we're going to go back there. So what is this issue about shortage of men in society today?
First of all, I think there's a statistic about the fact that there's more women
than
men, number one. But then on top of that, within those men, we already know women are more serious or more of like, by nature, they want to settle down. By nature, they want to have a family. Men are more so go-getters, you know, I want to go for my ambition. So already, that's a big problem.
So shortage of good men.
There's a shortage of, I don't want to call them good or bad, but like shortage of men
Of
who
serious
want to
men.
settle down, serious men.
So options.
Yeah.
Your options are limited and few.
Like, think about it. Let's even just give this example. We all go to the same church. Let's say there's 5 girls. And there's one guy who's doing well for himself. Very, very well for himself. Maybe even 2 guys.
He plays the piano.
Plays the piano.
The pastor's assistant.
Exactly. Think about it. Why would we not all like him? We're all single. Why would we not all like him?
But only one of you is going to get him.
Of course.
But okay, so I think I hear that. But on the flip side of that, what I hear a lot of single guys say as well is that there's also a shortage of good women. So that guy now in church, okay, can see these 5 girls, but he's not even choosing any of them.
That's even where the patriarchy comes in again, because that guy that you mentioned might not even be a
All
good
that,
guy.
yeah.
All that, as in, he's a good guy on paper, he's got a good job, he does this, he does that, but he could be sinning. But he's still going to have options. But the guy now will now look at his options and say, nope, she's eliminated, she slept with this person, she slept with that person. So women now have to even, like, present as more than what they are just to get a guy. So not only is there a shortage, But the men, and this goes back to being your type's type. The men too, might not even find you attractive. Might not even think you're the one based on what you have done in the past.
So I think I hear that, right? So I think there's work for everyone to do. Because guys are also struggling in this dating game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that now want to settle down. A lot of guys want to settle down and they're not seeing the right girls.
Why do we call it settle down?
Or no, not like you want to settle for someone.
Yeah.
It's just a saying.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's
Yeah, why do we
That's
call it settle down when you're not settling? You don't want to settle.
I guess.
Food for thought.
So it's like, okay, I'm ready to also start a family, but I want to make sure I get it right.
Yeah.
And, they're just not meeting the right type of girls that I feel like they can actually build that future with. Okay, so I feel like everyone should just come back down to the basics, right?
Yeah.
Everybody be your true self.
Yep.
Be your real self.
That's what we need to work on first and foremost.
Let me meet you. Exactly.
Yeah.
Committed to God. Like, God, this is me. I'm naked. There are some people that they've pretended so much that they are even pretending for God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, when you've pretended so much,
You don't even
know yourself anymore. Right? So come back
you know yourself.
Know your inside joke.
Inside joke, guys.
Come back to yourself and to continue all your self-love stuff and trust in God.
So what's our takeaway from this? That continue your self-love stuff, but don't overdo it so that someone can't even come in and also love you.
Yes. Don't build a barrier.
Okay.
So have your boundaries, have your standards,
exactly.
Be open.
but be open.
Yeah.
Right? Don't build a wall around yourself
such that no one can
like.
Don't be risk averse as well.
Don't be risk averse. Be willing to take risks. Keep your DMs open because you've told us that the Instagram is still an avenue.
Look good, but still also pray good, and at the same time develop your mind as well, so that one is also good. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Oyen,
thank you, Oyen. It's been a pleasure having you.
having you.
Thanks, guys. It was great.
Cheers.
So I feel like we've not finished this conversation. I feel like we're going to bring you back. Okay, so we can talk about some of these other things because I feel like we're just still scratching the surface.
And it'd be nice maybe if you brought on Damien.
Yeah.
He's Gen Z.
We're definitely bringing Damien on because the last conversation we had with Damien was fire. So I think we should bring Damien on. So guys, if you want to see more of these, sort of round table talk where we actually talk about real stuff, okay, and help you in one way or the other, let us know in the comments, okay? Like this video. Alright, because it helps us to actually know what you like, so we know what content to put out. So if you're new to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Okay, we are certified marriage and relationship coaches. We've been married for 10 years this year. And, we just enjoy talking about marriage, giving solid advice, solid nuggets for singles, for married couples, divorced, whatever your situation is, okay? So if that's something that interests you, make sure you subscribe to the channel, okay? And keep following us because we're bringing you loads of good stuff, all right? We also have a book out there. It's titled Marriage is Easy as ABC. Make sure you get a copy of this book, all right? So I think we're just going to wrap it up here. It has been real. I don't know if we're singing any welcome song.
Do you want to sing the welcome song? If you can't sing it,
We're glad you came, we welcome.
Come on.
We hope you learn a thing or two as you join us on this journey through
Just say,
marriage, faith, and life. We're glad you came. We welcome you. We hope you learn a thing or two as you join us on this journey through marriage, faith, and life. Marriage, faith, and life. Marriage, faith, and life. Marriage, faith, and life.
Come on now, check out that. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
About you, sweet me. If unaya momali champion, I want that linty no be. I'm gonna give you all of my life.